Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to my discussion about the diabetes registry. We recently started a diabetes registry that has allowed us to collect a little bit of information thus far. We have a sampling of a couple of patients, and from our analysis, I just wanted to share with you what we found. So the reason why it's important to understand our data is because it can help us to provide more effective care to our patients. It can decrease complications for our patients. Also, it can decrease costs for the organization. If you think about a patient who's being readmitted for the same types of complications over and over again, with the way insurance is set up, the patient continuing to come to the hospital for the same reasons is not cost effective for the insurance company, nor is it cost effective for the organization, because it's likely that capitation has kicked in and we're not receiving the money that we would have ordinarily been paid for those visits. So it's up to us to decrease the number of times that the patient comes into the hospital for care for the same types of things. Also, understanding our data can help us contribute to the overall health of the population. So if we take a closer look at the information that we did collect in the diabetes registry database so far, you'll see that the information that we identified showed us a trend that will be helpful it will be helpful for our providers. It will help them identify which patients might be most impacted by new programs for diabetes management, whether it's initiating a nutrition program, an education program so that patients know how to handle blood sugar emergencies, or just diabetic teaching in general. What information was collected? We collected a small sampling of data of male and female patients who were diagnosed with diabetes, and we created a diabetes registry to look at which factors contribute to diabetes complications. Some of the things that we looked at for as far as factors go that contribute to complications related to diabetes: poor glycemic control, high coronary disease risk, and an A1C over 6.5. So in the data that we collected, we used 20 patients from our sample, and so we compared the total number of A1C results from both male and female patients, and we looked at where those totals were. And if you look here, you'll see that the totals for female patients, the A1C averages around 7.33 for those patients. And for male patients, it averaged a little bit higher at around 7.43. So as you see here, for the male patients that we sampled from the particular practice that we pulled data from, the males in the practice have a little bit higher A1C than the women do, but they are all over 6.5, which is the recommended range for A1C. The data collection will help us look at applying data analysis to the work that we perform daily helps us to deliver better care. We can positively impact our patients' lives by helping them to learn where to focus their energy, and we can contribute to the overall health of the population by contributing our data to universities and research facilities that work on national population health initiatives. So, long story short, for this group of patients, this data might tell providers where it might help them to help the patient narrow down what areas they might need to focus on, whether it's their intake of carbs or whether it's their intake of sugary drinks or other foods that may be causing their blood sugars to rise. It will help us to help the patient take a deeper dive into the things that they do on a daily basis that might help them to be able to bring their blood sugars down to this below 6.5, and will help them with decreasing complications related to higher A1Cs. I appreciate you giving me your attention this evening. I hope you have a good evening. Thanks.